So Donald Trump, I'm sure you've seen, just landed in Beijing on a plane. And with him is the CEO of Nvidia, CEO of Boeing, and a list of executives that are like top people from Pentagon. And the S&P 500 is at all-time highs right now. It isn't routine. This is actually one of the most important summits since 1972 when Richard Nixon went to China. And nobody's framing it correctly, but let me show you what I'm looking at. So in this article that's making the rounds today, it's the Nvidia chips, Boeing jets, stock traders eye Trump in China. And if you look at the framing, like Nvidia's up right now. It's just shooting up in the last day, basically, probably from this news. Look at that there. And Boeing is up as well, spiking up there. MP Materials, we had a spike there. And Tesla was up as well. So this Trump Z summit is going to be covering tariffs, the war in Iran, semiconductors, and rare earths. What they're really saying is we don't know how to price this, so we're pricing at nothing. And I want to zoom out for a second, because if you only look at the ticker tape, you miss the entire story. In 1972, when Nixon went to visit Beijing, he brought along with him Henry Kissinger. And the official agenda was trade and cultural exchange, right? But the real agenda was splitting Mao from the Soviets, a strategic wedge that defined the next 50 years of American foreign policy. And that single trip created the framework that built modern globalization. China became the world's factory, America got companies for cheap manufacturing, and the dollar became reserve currency for the resulting trade flows. Every supply chain you live inside today traces back to that flight in 1972. And 54 years later, Trump is doing that as well. He's taking that trip over there with Nvidia CEOs and so on. And we can see the chess pieces moving first with Nvidia. Jensen was added last minute to that trip. And he's got the most valuable chip company on earth. And it wasn't on the manifest until like he got put on that plane like kind of last minute. And that's a signal that, you know, Nvidia's got an assumption of zero China sales in their own outlook. But if that were to materially change, that really changes the demand prospects for the entire chip industry. And for that stock, it can be kind of a huge thing, right? It's been growing astronomically for a number of years, 1,500% over 5 years. Who knows where it's going to go? But if China gets chip access back, what they declare is leverage to delay their own ingenious capacity. Huawei's Ascend program, SMIC's process node race, and a short-term win for Nvidia might be a long-term win for Beijing's chip sovereignty. Now, Boeing is reportedly considering a deal with China for about 500 aircraft, and that's a big order, right? But they haven't taken any serious volume in China since this trade war started. They've been quietly building up their own domestic production of flights. And that could get a good bounce on their stock if China signed a deal with them. I mean, the CEO is on the plane there as well. So we'll be interested to see what happens there. Then we've got MP Materials, which is the rare earths. They last year the Pentagon had an equity stake in there, and the stock more than doubled last year because of that. But the Pentagon is going to see how that pans out. If China right now, they control most of the rare earth minerals and they're mining much of them, and they've used that as leverage before. So if Trump and Xi agree to normalize rare earth mineral flows, this stock here will be losing on that in the short term. And this could be something to be considering, right? But we'll see what they say about this rare earth stuff tomorrow. And then we've got agriculture as well on the table. And China stopped buying American crops during the last trade war. And if Xi commits to crop purchases, then, this company, Deere and Company, they get a massive upswing from that. But yeah, we will see how this plans out with the meetings ahead. And if you're interested to invest in any of these, keep an eye on them. We'll see how this pans out with Trump and Xi over the next days, if they make good progress with their wheelings and dealings. So stay tuned.